All right, hello everyone. I'm going to go ahead and get us started with today's lesson. So what I'll do is I'll be modeling the first problem for you, and then going through, we'll do some guided practice with the rest of them. Give me 1 second. Let me get everything on the right screen. All right. All right. So take a look at this. Let me make sure everything. All right, we're now ready to go. So here is, of course, you've already saw today's learning target. I can add mixed numbers. We're going to be doing this basically the same strategy we did on Monday. So here is here's the first problem. I'm going to actually walk you through it. In 1 week, Jeremy's family drank 2 3/4 cartons of regular milk and 4.5 cartons of soy milk. How much milk did they drink in all? So that phrase "in all" right there tells me that we are adding today. Let me grab some real quick. Okay. So we're going to be adding this particular problem. So you have 2 3/4 plus 4.5. When we're dealing with mixed numbers, we always start with the whole numbers. So 2 and 4 gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wholes. Okay, I know I have 6 wholes already in my answer. Then I'm just adding 3/4 plus 1/2. Go ahead and draw my 1/2. Now I need to convert it to fourths because fourths are my largest denominator. I just draw a line through it and turn it into 2/4. And now I have 3/4 plus 2/4. I do 1, 2. Uh-oh, I'm short. So I'm going to go ahead and add another fourth. There's my 3/4. Go ahead and shade these in. And then to determine my answer, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 wholes and 1/4. So I have 7 and 1/4 as my answer. Okay. And I don't need to reduce because if my numerator is 1, there's nothing that can be divided by 1. Give you guys 30 seconds to copy this down and go. All right, so that should do it. So I'm going to just go ahead and clear my board. And then we're going to go to the next. You can see the visual real quick. So, 2 plus 4 is 6, meaning we have 6 wholes. Then you're adding 3/4 and 2/4 gives you 5/4, which equals 1 and 1/4 added together equals 7 and 1/4. And I want you guys to watch this video about this problem.
Since Rhonda is mixing 1.5 cups of sand with 2 5/8 cups of potting mixture to make soil, we need to add these two together to find out how much soil that will make. The first thing we notice is that the fractions that we need to add do not have common denominators. We will need a common denominator for 1/2 and 5/8 before we add them. Since halves are bigger than eighths, we need to partition the halves to be equivalent to the eighths. This is 1/2. If we partition it in half again, now we have fourths. And if we partition each of the 4 equal pieces, now we have eighths. So what we've done is taken each half and separated it into 4 equal pieces. I can record this by multiplying the numerator and denominator by 4. Notice that changing 1/2 to 4/8 does not change the value. The same amount is still shaded. It's still 1/2 and it's 4/8. Since I know that 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2, I can replace 1/2 in my original equation with 4/8. Now my equation is 1 4/8 plus 2 5/8 equals S. That's the total soil. Since my denominators are the same unit, common denominators, I can add now. If I put the whole numbers together, that's 3, and if I put the fractions together, that's 9/8. My total is 3 9/8. Notice that this mixed number has an improper fraction. Let's take a look at what's happening here. We can represent the 3 9/8 with 3 wholes and 9/8. Notice that this is the same as 3 8/8 and 1/8. Since it takes 8/8 to make a whole, we can rename this as 3 plus 1 plus 1/8. So you can see from our picture and from our numbers and symbols that this would be 4 1/8. So let's go back to our equation. The value of S, which is the total cups of soil, is 4 1/8. Today, you will solve some practice problems in which you will need to add fractions with unlike denominators. Remember to find a common denominator. When you add the fractions, you may need to form new wholes if you have an improper fraction. And remember, answers may be written as a simplified equivalent fraction.
All right, now we're going to look at the next problem. Okay, so let's look at this one together. All right, so Miss Melton made 2 trays of cookies for the winter party. After the party was over, both trays had some cookies on it. 1 4/6 of the first tray had leftover sugar cookies. 2/3 of the second tray had leftover chocolate chip cookies. Miss Melton combined the 2 trays. How much does Miss Melton have left? Okay, so someone real quick call out, what operation are we doing? How are we doing this problem? Right, you're combining the 2 trays, so you're adding. So we're doing 1 4/6 plus 2/3. All right. How many holes do we have? Shout it out. How many holes do we have already? 1 hole. So you add your 1 hole. Then draw your fraction with the smallest denominator. Right, it's 2/3. And then we add the 4/6. Well, we have to turn the thirds into 6, and we do that just by drawing a line through it. Now we add the 4/6, and I already can tell I'm short, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw another fraction with 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I see that I have total, I'm gonna change colors here, see if it sticks out. So 1 hole, 2 holes, and then 1, 2 over 6. Ask yourself, can you divide 2 divided by 2 and 6 divided by 2? Yes, you can. And once you divide them, you get 2 1/3. Give you about 30 seconds to make sure you have that all written down. All right. Go ahead and clear this out. We're going to go to the next one. Nope, we're not yet. There we go. Oh, you'll see the, okay. So London was carrying 3 presents into her grandmother's house. Now I want you guys to try this one on your own, okay? London was carrying 3 presents into her grandma's house. The first present weighed 4.5 pounds. The second present weighed 1 3/4 pounds. The third present weighed 2 5/8 pounds. Okay. How much did the second and third present weigh? Okay. So notice it says second and third. That means we're ignoring which one? The first one. So we're ignoring the first one. So we're only adding 1 3/4 plus 2 5/8. The video is going to be paused. After it is paused, you'll have about 2 minutes to see if you can quietly solve this problem on your own. So pause the video now. All right, so if the video has not been paused, pause it. Okay, it's been paused, great. We're gonna go ahead and solve the problem. Check your work with what I do. So the first thing I know is I have 1, 2, 3 holes. I draw my 3 holes, okay? 1, 2, and 3. Then I see that I have 3/4 is my smallest denominator, all right? I'm gonna instantly turn it into 8 because that's how I make fourths into eighths. I just draw a line in half. Then I have 5/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, and then 1, 2, 3, 8. So I have 4 and 3/8 as my final answer. Okay. Give you 30 seconds to make sure you have that written down. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and clear my board. And we're now gonna go to the next question. All right, so this is gonna be the you do that you do. I will read the problem. The video will be paused. You do your best to solve it. Marcus's family ate 3 3/12 gallons of vanilla ice cream and 2 5/6 gallons of chocolate ice cream at the birthday party. How much ice cream did they eat in all? All right, so go ahead and get started. The video will be paused should be paused as soon as I finish writing down these 2 numbers, and pause now. All right, the video needs to be unpaused. Hopefully it's been paused. Now that it's unpaused, I will show you how to solve it and then we'll move forward. All right, so you have 3 and 2. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. Smallest denominator obviously is 5, 6. So that's a lot we got to fill in. And then obviously we're going to turn it into 12ths, making it 10/12. And then I have to shade in my 3/12. So 1, 2, 3 12ths has been drawn. Okay. So I see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes and 1 12th. All right. Maybe 30 seconds. You should be writing this down. If you did not write it down, you should be writing this down now. This is your example for your independent practice because you will be on your own at that point. All right, while everyone's wrapping up writing this down, you do have your independent practice that you need to do today. You'll have 10 questions that will need to be completed on Canvas, and afterwards you'll need to make sure you do your exit ticket. You do not do those things, you know what I have to put in the grade book? A 0. Remember, everything's graded. Take your time. You have between now and lunch to get everything done. If you happen to finish early, you will then work on Dreambox. I will see you all later and have a great one.